Hi, we're Drew and Sarah with Let's Table It, and today we're going to try something a little new. We're going to do a little crowdfunding report. I am not usually the person who looks at the crowdfunding stuff. That's all on Drew. He does all of the research. Sometimes I think that's more of his hobby than actually playing games, is to kind of research and decide what we're going to back next. And so he's going to tell us about 5 crowdfunding campaigns that caught his eye this week, and then I'll kind of blind react to them and see what we think. Here we go. Okay, so first up we've got Dice Raiders from Lizard King.
Yeah, it's got, print and play, roll and write, pretty simple mechanics. Looked like a pretty nice little game though.
So what made it catch your eye?
It's very much based off of, Indiana Jones, has that, overall feel, really nice artwork though overall, and I think it's pretty nice.
Price point?
Really cheap. Print and plays, $3 a piece. They've got one with essentially comes with some expansions too and things like that. So you can go up to 19, or $20 or something like that. But overall, yeah, really cheap.
So, are we backing it?
It's a maybe. Print and plays are always problematic. I don't know how many people really get them played, but it's a maybe.
Okay, sounds good. Next up, we've got Triumph by Phalanx Games.
Yeah, this is an area control. You're fighting off the barbaric hordes. Basically, you're trying to kind of get as much area as possible, holding off others. There's not as much direct conflict between players, but I think there's still some.
Gotcha. What made it catch your eye?
It's a pretty game. I like the theme. I don't mind area control. I think, the downside, if there is one for us, because it's not really our thing, is the bidding aspect. You have to kind of bid to hold on and to get locations and things like that. So probably
if you say
not.
bidding, I'm out. I'm out. Done.
Yep.
So probably not a surprise, but do you think we'll be backing this one?
No, this is a pass because of that bidding.
And I guess, did we talk about the price point?
Yeah, it's $62 for the Kickstarter. If you want to go all in, it's $113, which it's not bad. It's got great production value, but it seems a little high for what it is.
Okay, next up we have Among Cultists from Godot Games, and I have actually heard of this one. It's been a bit of a social media darling lately. So.
Yeah, and this is technically their reprint with an expansion. So overall, it's gotten pretty good buzz. A lot of people really like it for that first time around. So they're offering it again. As everybody does, if it's a hit, they get an expansion and launch it again.
So what made it catch your eye?
Again, it's pretty well known. You know what you're getting. There's been a lot of buzz. That a lot of people really enjoy this game. And honestly, for just the expansion at $28, that's not too
bad.
bad.
Not bad.
No, if you just want the base game, it's $54. The kicker is if you're going to come in for some reason all in just at once, that's $134. Seems a little high for a social deduction game.
Yeah, social deduction's really hard for us. Most of the time it's us playing, or us and our kids playing, or we do have another couple, Brody and Lauren, who we play with too occasionally. But I think social deduction's just a hard sell for us. If we're going to get together as adults and play a game, we want something maybe a little more than a social deduction game. So yeah, that's a little bit of a hard sell for me.
Yeah, so that's one of the reasons we're going to pass on this one.
Next up, we have Cavern by Brad Hiscock.
This is another print and play roll and write with a dungeon crawl theme, which is kind of an interesting one. If you look at the maps and things like that, I think it's done really well. It's got some really pretty art in the background. That's really what drew my eye, and more than anything, it's just having that little extra flair that most roll and writes, and especially print and play roll and writes, don't have.
Yeah, again, like we talked about earlier, print and plays they're kind of hard sometimes. Do you forget about them? Do you manage to print them off?
Yeah.
Do you actually get them to the table? And so that's a little tricky.
I think this could be a really good game, but I don't know that print and play is going to do it justice as far as the aesthetics and the real artwork on it and things like that. So I wish it would go into an actual production.
Well, maybe maybe they will in the future. You never know.
You never know.
So what's our price point on this one?
So this is $5 for the base, going all the way up to $45 if you want the custom maps and all the little add-ons and stuff like that. So yeah.
One of those cases where it can be as expensive as you want it to be, basically.
Exactly.
Very nice. Yep. So I'm guessing we are passing on this.
We're going to pass on this one again. If they went into production, I'd really think about it depending on the price point.
Okay, our last campaign for this week that we're looking at is Storm Raiders from Arcus Games.
Yeah, so this is a Shem Phillips game, but it's not put out by Garphill, which you can tell right away. The art is very different, but really gorgeous on this. It has this really unique theme and tons of mechanisms. It's pretty much got something for everybody. So dice drafting, resource management, pick up and deliver, set collection, variable player powers. I think this has a lot to offer.
Okay. So I'm guessing the art drew you in, and maybe just the combination of different things that you're doing in the game.
Yeah, the art, the table presence, that always,
And you said it has
your eye.
a unique theme. So what's
going on? Basically this part of the world was devastated by some storm. The storm is still present, but the eye of the storm has gotten bigger, and you're trying to basically go out and salvage and get what you can and come back. It's just a really interesting. I've never seen almost apocalyptic, but not quite. Kind of a little bit different.
Okay, what are we talking about price-wise on this
So
one?
$62 for the standard edition.
Okay.
$80 for the deluxe. The great thing about the deluxe is it has the custom game trays and stuff like that. So, for 18 more to be able to table it more often and get it out, store it, that's a big one.
Something we've really found with our games is if it has a good storage solution, we are much more likely to table it because it's so much easier to just pull everything out of the box and get it to the table, start playing right away. You don't have to do all the sorting and everything.
Yeah. They do have a 127 all-in, so all those things before, plus some upgrades and mini expansion and some stuff like that. I honestly, and if you look at it, most backers are going for that deluxe. It's that you want those extra little things, but you don't necessarily need it all.
Especially for a little bit more of an unknown quantity with Shem Phillips, but not Garphill games. Like, how does this work? How does this look when it finally delivers?
Yeah. And it's lighter than a lot of his others. If you look at a lot of the Garphill games, they're going to be, in BG, what are they, 3.5. Yeah. This is a 2.5 right now as it stands. So I think this really could be a good intro Shem Phillips.
Okay, so the big question, are we backing this?
Yeah, I think we might. Again, 80's not the cheapest, but it could be a lot worse.
It's kind of where games are right now. Definitely have seen that influx in prices for games right now.
Yeah, it's becoming anything under 100 is almost a bargain.
Yeah.
Especially on any kind of crowdfunding site.
Okay. So thanks for joining us. We would love to hear from you. What are you backing this week? Did any of these games also catch your eye? Let us know in the comments, and we hope to see you again next week.